Your higher self and your angels and your guides are all coming together right now to give you a big, big intuition activation surge. Like going from everything dark in the room to all the lights coming on at once, and you being able to genuinely and clearly know, see, and understand what's going on around you, so you make the most empowered decisions, so that you see the greatest opportunities and you don't waste a beat. My name is Sonia Choquette. I am an intuitive channel and guide. I have been teaching and sharing how to turn on these empowering and essential inner senses for over 50 years. I am the leader of the intuition revolution of these new earth times. Today, I want to share the tool for tuning your inner guidance on high. So this don't know what to do and I'm lost in my head and I feel insecure and doubt stops. It's time for it to stop. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I believe your guides and your angels and your inner intuition, higher self, this whole constellation of divine support brought you here, and I genuinely hope that you gained some very useful support and help today. And for those of you coming back, welcome back. We are in a turning point in the year, and this is very powerful. Intuition is direct, clear, connected inner guidance on how to live your life in the most empowering way. And this energy is being turned on to high volume. So I'm glad you're here, because the more of you who turn it on, you're just by nature helping everyone else do the same. Okay, so let's get on with the tool of June. The tool of June is really clear, not complicated, very specific. It's quiet the noise, quiet the distraction. That's the number one reason why you are not being regularly, clearly, intuitively guided, so that you know what's right for you, you know, and connect with what you're looking for, you know, and you choose and build the life you want and begin the prosperity that it's not like I hope, I wonder, I'm trying to figure it out. You know, is you have to make a very huge, specific, disciplined decision. You have to quiet the noise. You have to unplug from what is distracting you and literally stopping you from listening and receiving clear inner guidance. And the noise is an addiction. So it really needs to be addressed like an addiction. That it's like the ego brain gets trained to compulsively abandon yourself and fill yourself up with so much external input that you lose yourself. The vibration, it's like scrambling your eggs. I'm teaching my first cohort. I've just finished actually my first gift certification training for grounded, intuitive facilitators and transmitters of higher energy. It was an unbelievably empowering training, the first of its kind. I've been planning on this forever, but I trained 200 people worldwide on how to tune into their guidance and hold that frequency with such clarity that they can now become guides in the world. It was beyond successful. But one of the things that I got as we entered into this end time, and now we're entering this June time, is you must live differently to be intuitively guided. You must clear the noise. You must identify it as an addiction meant to sabotage you from being a clearly guided, empowered person. So first, let's start with the easy things to identify. Maybe not so easy to clear, but to identify. The first is technology. The social media and the constant, non-stop, the news, the scrolling, the quick dollars of information that do not affect you, that leave you anxious, leave you in self-doubt, leave you feeling threatened, leave you confused, leave you causing you to leave yourself. So that's the first discipline, is to unplug. And to what degree? Well, because it's an addiction, I would say that you set certain hours of the day where you simply do not expose yourself to technology. Now, I believe it should be all day. And maybe you, like with YouTube, it's a classroom, okay? This is different, but I wouldn't go for hours and hours. I would say limit your technology input, especially the short bits that burst at you, because that really is quite damaging to your intuitive faculties. I would limit that to maybe no more than 15 minutes a day. Now that's a big discipline, and your ego's gonna go, no way, this is my life, this is my fuel, this is what I need. But it is a very damaging and expensive indulgence. It is designed to keep you disempowered. It is designed to keep you distracted from yourself, disconnected from your inner guidance, in self-doubt, in comparison. It's just toxic. So that's a big tool, quiet the noise. And it's up to you to be disciplined. Discipline sounds, because, when we grew up, especially if you were ever around Catholics, which I grew up in, discipline was punishment. You might, in other cultures too, and other situations where there was punishment for not listening and being completely enraptured by some external force. And that's not discipline. Discipline means to learn, to choose to learn something, to be devoted. So if you truly want to become empowered, you need the discipline of being devoted to inner quiet. I would say guarantee yourself at least an hour a day, but it's more than just inner quiet. It's like stop the intrusions. That's really big. Stop the intrusions. Just stop. So what do? Pick up books, read actual books, and read beautiful books. Read books that inspire you and calm you and take you on imaginary journeys. And that's a good antidote for technology. The second noise, and it's a big one, is the habit of asking other people what they think. First of all, just pause and ask yourself, who am I asking? I have a client who I'm mentoring who said, all my life, I had an older sister, and I just from the youngest age would ask her what she thought. And most of what was important to me, or what my inner guidance was, she would mock or laugh at or tell me I was crazy. She was just very easily dismissive of me from the beginning. And now we're in our 50s. And I'm starting to become really called to intuitive development and coaching and wanting to live this more peaceful, empowered, internally confident life. But I have found myself 3 times in the last week asking her, sharing with her what I'm doing and asking her what she thought. And all 3 times she laughed at me. She dismissed me outright. Not one question about what I was doing, not the least amount of interest. And the 3rd time I got it, that I was giving her power to cause me to doubt myself and stay small around her, that my growth and my interest threatened her comfort. And she said, I got it. It's like, why did it take me 50 years to get it? I don't know, but I got it. I got that every time I asked her something, I was simply asking her to keep me back in my small, diminished, insecure, disempowered place. So after that last experience, I just was silent because I felt the ambush. I felt her ego intention to just dismiss me. And something changed in me. I am never going to ask her again. And this was interesting. She said this week she called me and she asked about what I was doing. Are you still up to that woo-woo stuff? And I changed the subject. Instead of responding or defending myself, which I knew was a hook, I simply said, how's your week going? and did not indulge the hook. Now, this is a big June transformation tool. Quiet the noise, and if the noise isn't technology, it could be other people wanting you to stay a certain way so they don't have to change. Quiet the noise. Okay, again, you don't have to confront it, and I don't recommend you do because you won't succeed. You'll just get into a fight. Just be aware and do something different. Do something very different. Like with her, she said, I'm never going to ask again. But secondly, I realize her input isn't supportive to what I know in my being is important. It's just not. So I'm not going to subject myself to her input. That is a very empowered, quiet the noise choice. So put in the comments if you've had any of these revelations, because these are really coming in, and when you acknowledge it, you empower yourself. It's your intuition that says, stop this, not good. I can't hear my guidance if I'm overwhelmed by external distraction and noise and sabotage. The third thing that you want to do this month that will help this tool of getting clear is to ask yourself, this was a really good one with my teacher. I remember how he asked me this question, are you ready? I remember when I was mentored as a child with 2 master intuitive teachers, incredible. I write about it in my book, The Diary of a Psychic. So if you want to read a good story and have a good sense of how this has evolved to where I am, The Diary of a Psychic is the book. But I was learning with him weekly. I was very young. I was 12, 13. And he asked, I said, Charlie, his name was Charlie, and I said, Charlie, I really want to be intuitive. I really want that. I knew, and most kids do at that age before they get into too much adolescence and hormones and distraction. They know who they are. And I knew then this was my path. I knew then very clearly. I wrote about this. But I remember when I said this to him, he just looked at me and he said, are you ready? And I knew what he was asking, even at that point. I knew that what I was asking is if I become a more clearly guided and self-empowered person, I would be going against the grain of what culturally everyone expected me to do, which was to seek approval and to make no waves and to always go along with everything and to be pretty compliant and invisible and to just live with the desire to have other people approve of my submissiveness versus live my truth. And he said, I don't want you to answer that right now. Are you ready? Because to become intuitively, clearly guided to say, I know what I know and I'm going to go with that is disruptive. It definitely invites you to, like with my client that I was talking to and her sister, invites you to live in a way that's going to get some pushback initially. Now, what I'm saying about this is that don't be afraid of the pushback. If you're going to be afraid of anything, be afraid of the self-abandonment. That's what to be afraid of, not the pushback. Because the pushback is just people trying to use their barking dog, which I call your ego, to menace you and control you into self-abandonment. But this is a big game-changing time in the world. This simple decision to quiet the noise and not be afraid or intimidated by the pushback. Just breathe and just say, well, I'm choosing to listen to myself and what I know. Whatever you believe or feel is okay. Whatever you believe and feel is okay, but it doesn't work for me. That's all. You don't have to be combative. So what I want you to do is put in the comments, what is the noise? You can't quiet it if you don't identify it. And where is your addiction? And don't even pick on yourself about it. Now, of course, this goes to say, this might be the time when your actual physical substance addictions also do need to be addressed. And that's no news to you. If you're drinking and you're over consuming and overspending, that's noise. And at some point this month, the universe is saying it's time to stop. I know that's a big ask. You don't have to stop alone. There's support groups all over the world for addictions. But quiet the denial. And that actually will be another broadcast. But right now, just let's focus on the noise. The noise. And if you are addicted, notice how it creates noise. It prevents you from hearing yourself, from hearing the inner guidance channel that is so important to you. I want you to have this breakthrough experience. So does the universe. This is what the new earth is about. So right now, this week, let's keep it simple and manageable. Identify your noise. It's overstimulation, over technology, other people's opinions, my own internal need for approval. And then 1 or 2 steps that you're going to take to quiet the noise. The first is simply put your phone down and pick up a book. That will quiet the noise, even if it's a picture book or a coloring book. That works too. Okay, that gets you back out of your head and in your body and in your own experience. And secondly, don't ask for approval. Don't be aware of who you're sharing things with and where you're getting your support. And to that end, I just want to mention, I do recognize it's a very important core part of the support you need to have a community that you can get feedback from, which is why I created the Good Vibes Tribe. And this fantastic community. And we share, we interact, we have book club, we talk, we communicate regularly and have support and guidance and all the things you do need to quiet the noise. So there's a link below if you want to investigate that. It's fabulous. I had a community developing my intuition. I know the importance of that, and mostly we go to the wrong people because we do need community. So that's another tool this month. So 3 things. Put your notes, where's the noise, and 1 thing you're going to do to quiet it. And then support. Good Vibes Tribe. Read my book, Diary of a Psychic. Good Vibes Tribe. It's another one that'll bring you the community experience. And you could try it for a month, see if it works. If it doesn't, okay, give it a try. It's very affordable and it's full and rich. And 3, don't ignore the real guidance. And if you feel called to be a leader in this transformation on the planet, believe it. And then sign up for my certification waitlist, because the training I offer, there's nothing like it on the planet. And I am not exaggerating, and this is not coming from ego. This is coming from massive empowerment. Just be on the certification waitlist and you'll learn about it. And you'll know. But for right now, whether you want to do this with others, live for yourself, it begins at the beginning. Quiet the noise. Quiet the noise. That is most important. And if you do, you're going to be so instantly rewarded with such clarity about what I know, what my spirit knows, what my guides are telling me, my angels are telling me. As a divine spiritual being, that clarity that comes in instantly that will help you in every part of your life across the board will be your reward. So that's my June tool, quiet the noise. And if this helped you, please, several things. Please give me a thumbs up, because that helps this channel get out there for more people. Secondly, put a notification so you're made aware when my next transmission comes. And third, subscribe, because this is a community that is kindred spirits. And make your comments, because when you start acknowledging your own experience, that's the beginning of your power. So I'm going to leave you with this. Are you ready? I hope so. See you next week. All my love.